And here's really the part one of octopus. As you can see, I have bought a whole octopus. Octopus usually costs about $2 to $3 a pound, and I got a whole octopus, so it was actually almost 5 pounds. So it's not a thing that you buy all the time. Many of you buy calamari, so if you're wondering why calamari costs $9 or $10, that's the reason why. As you can see, with the ingredients, is as you see, the recipe has for 3 eggs, Panko bread, which you'll see right here, and flour. Now, flour needs to be added. What do you need to add it for? Flour is usually anything you would use for fish. I use Emerald's fish rub, usually something lemony to get that good crisp taste. Everything comes together. So in case you use Panko for something else and it didn't really come together, it's because you need to season it. It doesn't come with seasoning. It's one of those breadcrumbs who actually is not seasoning itself. It's just the breadcrumbs. It's just a Japanese style breadcrumbs. So you need to add the seasoning to it. So what you're going to do is, as you can see, these are cut up into little small pieces. Now, if you're worried about, oh, I don't want to see the face, there's no face here. They took out the face. Some of them still do have like a face, like the beak and all that stuff. It depends on what kind of octopus you buy and how fresh you get it. If it's moving, yeah, you're going to have to bash it over the head. And try to be as quickly as possible with it, because actually scientifically they're extremely smart. So they actually kind of understand the idea of, oh, it's time to, it's death time. So, you know, if you have to kill a live one, do as fast as you can. Don't do the lobster thing, throw in the thing, because obviously they understand things. So this is a horrifying experience, and it also messes up the meat. So, because obviously your endorphins and stuff messes up meat. That's why with wild animals, they say kill them as quickly as possible, because the fear will mess up the meat. So yeah, just the same thing, because a higher level of intelligence means if you got to do it, do it as quickly as possible, but 90% of the time you're not going to have to do this. So you're cutting up the tentacles first, and the head is last. Yes, you can't eat the head. It's not a big deal. If there's a beak, just cut it off. Don't eat the beak. No, don't do that. So you're rubbed in the flour, the fish rub, you're rubbing it into this part, you're dipping in, and then you're going to rub it around with the pino. You're not anything to the pino, the flour is where it's added. So 1, 2, 3, it's going to look like this, where it's all around. There's the little things we're waiting for. And then we're going to go around. These are ones that are just about done. They have to be flipped over for like a minute. The whole thing about it is that while it's not like you want them to be overly cooked, you want them to be kind of cooked a little bit in a way. You want it to be golden brown. And you have to be sure not use things to make it the crust of it kind of break off. And if you're wondering about the tentacles, don't worry about the long parts, worry about the thick parts. Because the thick parts, where you will feel the suction, the higher it goes, the higher you will feel the suction cups, depending on how fresh it is and what kind of it is and how big the suction cups are. You're going to kind of feel it. So once you start to actually be able to like move your finger around, make the cuts smaller. When it's really thin, since they're going to basically shrink because of the water density in them, because obviously they're in for their whole entire life, they're in water. When it hits the fryer, it's going to come all together, kind of shrink like you would see at any other time. Also, just so you know, if you're wondering why also it costs, when they cut up this, like this right here, what we're cooking right now, congratulations, you added like maybe a little bit more that's on the plate right there, that's $9. That's not even, as you can see, we haven't even finished cutting up the calamari. We have not even gotten to that point. So pretty much one octopus would actually be 4 servings. So you can see, if I'm paying probably, I don't know, $15 for it, I've gotten a return of X amount of money. Subtracting all the seasonings, obviously. And all that stuff is getting wholesale. And a lot of people don't use the pino seasoning unless you're in a Japanese restaurant. You usually use flour. You actually can do that. You can use the flour, and it'll be really good. And this is really for everyone. Great appetizer, a great meal. A little shout out to Raquel for just having a baby. The shot's for you. Just like partying it up back in the day. Hopefully by my birthday you can take that shot with me. See, it's ready to go, nice and brown. And it's coming apart. Hey, it happens. That's good. Make sure to keep as much of the brown of it together. And we are actually done. That's all you have to do. It's the cutting up process and cooking. It takes about 10 minutes for if a fryer is hot for it to work. The real thing about it is you also have to remember is to not overcook it. If it's tough, you're doing it too rough. That's the goal you have always tough. If it's rough, you've done it too tough. All right? It's rough, go harder. No, that's not what we're doing here today. No, don't do that. No. Do not listen to Rihanna. We are not trying to do that. So, that's the video. Next I'm going to do a little video next video is the sauce. In case you run out, here's a quick way how you can make it. All right? See you later.